I'm Kelsey here at Pantheon. I am the sales and marketing lead. We're really glad to have you here today. So our topic today is on AEO and GEO and how that is affecting Google or searching in general at all. Jill is kind of our guru here. However, she is currently on a road trip up to the Boundary Waters for a vacation over the weekend. She is camping in the woods.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
But she was kind enough to give us a little video of explanation of the back end type thing. So I will go ahead and play that. If you cannot hear it, Nick, please stop me. But we will go ahead and play that now.
Hi everyone, I'm Jill. I'm sorry I can't be here live today, but I'm glad to be part of this AI series. I want to spend a few minutes talking about something that's already changing and how people find information online. The shift from searching to AI, AEO and GEO. Before I get into it, I want to be transparent about Pantheon's role in this conversation. We are not a web design company. We're not here to redesign your website, replace your agency, or tell your creative team or marketing teams how to do their jobs. What we want to do is help you understand the shift that's happening so you can ask better questions of the people who support your website, your web designers, developers, content teams, SEO partners, agencies, or internal stakeholders. Because this is not a design conversation, it's a visibility, content, and digital strategy conversation. You may be hearing terms like AEO and GEO alongside the familiar term like SEO. Those terms can sound technical, but the basic idea is pretty simple, and we will cover their meanings over the next few minutes. The discovery and the shift search to social and now AI. For years, most digital discovery started with search engines. Someone went to Google, typed in questions or a few keywords, reviewed a list of links, and clicked through a website. Then we saw another shift. People started using social platforms as part of their discovery process. They would look up a company on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube, or even TikTok to see if the brand was active, credible, current, and real. We all have bought those fake products off Temu. Ads followed that attention. Socials became a major part of how organizations stayed visible. We're now entering another shift. People are still using search, they're still using social, but more and more they're also asking AI tools for answers, recommendations, comparisons, and next steps. Instead of typing, "What's the best website platform for higher education?" someone might ask an AI tool, "What should a university consider when choosing a secure and scalable website platform?" Instead of searching through 10 different links, they may get one summarized answer. That changes the question for organizations. It's no longer, "Are we ranking #1 on Google?" Now we have to ask, when AI tools answer questions in our space, are we part of the answer? That's where AEO and GEO come in. AEO, or Answer Engine Optimization, is about making your content easy to understand and easy to use as an answer. It means your website should clearly answer real questions your customers, prospects, students, members, donors, patients, or stakeholders are asking. Examples of questions you should consider. What do we do? Who do we serve? What problems do we solve? What should someone consider before making a decision? What questions should they ask a vendor or partner? What risks should they understand? What does success look like? How are we compared versus a competing product or service? What does GEO mean? GEO is Generative Engine Optimization. GEO is how your organization shows up on AI generated answers. Tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, and other AI-powered search engines are not showing a list of links. They're summarizing and synthesizing information. So GEO is about making sure your expertise, your point of view, and your content are strong enough and clear enough to be included in those summaries. A simple way to think about it is AEO helps your content become the answer. GEO helps your organization become part of the AI-generated conversation. And this matters because your website is still the digital home base. Even as AI, social, channels become more and more important, your website is where your organization's clearest, most accurate, most trusted information should live. If AI tools are going to summarize the web, then your website needs to be the strongest source of truth. But AI looks beyond your website. They may also pick up on public signals across the web, blog posts, news articles, LinkedIn content, Facebook pages, YouTube descriptions, podcast pages, online directories, review sites, partner pages, customer stories, event pages, jobs postings, press releases, and mentions from other organizations. That list sounds daunting, but every little breadcrumb across the internet feeds into your social and internet presence. They may also see how other people describe you. That could include tags from partners, backlinks from associations, quotes in articles, social posts, and references in other industry content. Are you listed in your industry's outside information? And are they linking into you, and do you link out to them? Every handshake between you two strengthens your social awareness. So this is not just about what you say about yourself on your own website. It's about what the broader web says about you. So consistency matters. If your website says one thing, your LinkedIn page says another, your old blog posts are outdated, and your partner listings use language from 5 years ago, AI tools may have a harder time understanding who you are, what you do, and why you matter. So when we talk about AEO and GEO, we are really talking about your whole digital footprint. Your website is the home base, but AI is looking at the neighborhood too. Your content, your social channels, your third-party mentions, your partnerships, your reviews, your thought leadership, and the way other trusted organizations refer to you to help reinforce your credibility. The goal is not to control every mention of your brand online. You cannot. The goal is to make sure the signal that you can influences are accurate, current, and consistent. So questions that you should ask your content partners. First, are we answering the questions our audience is actually asking? Second, is our content clear and structured, or is the important information buried? Third, do we have helpful educational content, or are we only a marketing copy? Fourth, are our public profiles and third-party references consistent in how we want to be understood? Fifth, is our website technically healthy, fast, secure, accessible, and easy to search, not only in engines, but for AI systems to crawl? And last, are we keeping our content current? Because in this new environment, stale website is not just a bad experience for visitors, it may also make it harder for AI tools to understand and trust your organization. Most buyers today have hours of research ahead of time before they ever walk through your door, call your phone number, or reach out to you for information. So the key takeaway is SEO is not going away. Social is not going away. Your website's not going away. But the way people discover and evaluate organizations is expanding. We're moving from search to social validation and now into AI-assisted answers. This means your organization needs to be visible, understandable, and trustworthy across all those places. AEO and GEO are really just ways to prepare for that. They're about making sure your expertise is clear, your content is useful, your website is strong, your public digital footprint is consistent, and your organization can be understood not only by people, but also by the AI tools people are using to increase using and making their decisions. My recommendation is simple. Start the conversation with your web and content partners. Ask them how your site is being prepared for AI-powered discovery. Ask where your content is strong and where it is thin, and where you can do a better job at answering real questions. Ask whether your broader digital presence is accurate and consistent, and ask whether your website is serving as the trusted source of truth for your organization. Look at your LinkedIn pages, look at your blog posts, look at your industry pages. Is there ways that you can increase your digital footprint across those? I was recently reading something about how AI is crawling websites and socials, and we're using so many digital generated images that AI is now throwing those out. You can make a fake website very, very quickly. And the more genuine and real content that we have, the better the AI is going to read it. Thank you for your time. Hi, everyone.
So as Jill kind of went over, AEO is answer engine optimization. So this is showing up in Google's featured snippets and voice assistants like Siri and Alexa. You've seen featured snippets. It's the box at the top of Google that answers the question directly before you even click on anything. AEO is how you get into that box. The signals Google looks for are structured markup and Q&A formatted content like FAQs, how-tos, concise definitions. The good news is that you can start seeing results from AEO in a matter of weeks. GEO, the generative engine optimization, this is a newer and frankly trickier one. GEO is about showing up when someone asks ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, or Claude to recommend a business or answer the question. These platforms don't show you a list of links. They synthesize the answer, sometimes with citations, sometimes without. To get into those answers, the signals are a matter of EEAT, expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, plus brand authority and how clearly your website communicates you do. So here is a slide of AEO and GEO key differences. So again, the target platform for AEO is that Google, Bing, Siri, Alexa, where GEO is ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude. The output, so AEO is featured snippets and voice answers, where GEO is the synthesized AI paragraphs with citations. Primary signal, structured markup, and Q&A format for AEO, and the EEAT, brand authority, clarity, things like that for GEO. The key content types, AEO is those FAQs, how to, concise definitions, where GEO is original research, expert analysis, and data. AEO measurement is snippet ownership rate, voice share, where GEO is the AI citation rate and brand mention share. And the timeline for AEO, you can see it changes within weeks. GEO does take longer, could be up to months. So Nick is going to put a AI Search Marketing Lab implementation workbook in the chat here that you can access. We are going to work through that. So now let's put the briefing into practice. All you need to do is open ChatGPT. If you do not have a paid account, you can go ahead and use a free one or create a free account. We won't be putting any specific company information within that, so it is okay to use a free version. And keep the implementation workbook beside you up on your screen, and we'll move through each exercise as a group. So what we'll be doing is prompting ChatGPT to audit how your brand shows up in AI answers, apply the AEO and GEO tactics from the briefing to a real page, and then capture findings in the workbook and leave an action list. The AI Marketing Lab Implementation Workbook. So this is going to be grading you on how you are showing up for both AEO and GEO on the ChatGPT platform. So required for today is access to ChatGPT. Plus is obviously recommended. You're going to get the option to move your thinking from just the regular all the way up to pro to get some better answers, but it is not required. ChatGPT ready with a new chat open. So each different step, we're going to open a new chat. Your website URL, you're going to want that ready as well, because that is something that is going to be pasted into some of these prompts. This workbook, so if you were able to grab it, you can definitely print it out. Otherwise, we can just work through it as a group, just going through Pantheons. I will show you kind of things that come up, and this will be emailed out afterwards. So this is something that if you just want to follow along now, you can go back and do for yourself later. And obviously a laptop computer if you would like to do it yourself. So a pre-workshop quick assessment. So before you start, you want to rate yourself. How visible do you think you are in AI search? These are going to be 1 out of 10s. How helpful is your website content to prospects? How well does your site show your team's expertise? And how confident are you in your current marketing approach? So I can give you a minute here just to kind of think about that. All right, we're going to move down. So, lab session number 1, discover your current position. So, task number 1 is going to be about overall AI readiness. So, we're going to copy this into our chat, new chat. But one thing you always want to make sure is that you're going in and changing all of these blocks. So, my current website is pantheoncomputers.com. I am MSP serving small to medium-sized businesses. Sometimes the copy format can get a little funky, so you can go ahead and just fix that. And I'm just going to go ahead and send that. So it's going to give you the top it's going to rate you your overall AI readiness score from 1 through 10. And the top three priority fixes to help you get a higher score. Now, this is something that you can consistently work on. So you might not get a 10 out of 10 right away, even a 5 out of 10. But our overall AI readiness search score is a 7 out of 10. So it says we're in good position right now. Your site already gives AI systems clear answers about what you do, who you serve, where you serve, and why you're credible. You have dedicated service pages for managed IT, cybersecurity, cloud backup, compliance, blah, 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 kind of goes through everything. The main gap is not missing content. It is identity, clarity, proof, and prioritization. AI engines need to know which facts to trust and cite first. So our top 3 things to fix. One is to create a single AI answer hub style page. So, and it gives you kind of what the fix should be and then what they recommend, how the fix, so who we are, best fit clients. So kind of just asking us to clarify that a little more. Number 2 is add stronger trust proof blocks to service and location pages. Your claims are good, but AI search rewards cooperated I can't say that word. I apologize. You already mentioned strong differentiators founded in 1997, local Southern Minnesota ownership, 24/7 support. Um, but add a why Pantheon? And it kind of goes into other stuff. And then number 3, reduce duplication and sharpen page intent. So some areas we have some duplication that they want us to fix. So bottom line, you are above average for AI search readiness because your site is structured around services, industries, location, FAQs, and proof points. To move from 7 out of 10 to 9 out of 10, make Pantheon's core facts easier to extract, cite, and verify. So in this workbook, I would give the readiness score and then write down these bolded 1, 2, and 3 into this, and then any additional feedback that is helpful. As we move down to task number 2, competitive reality check. So I'm going to go to a new chat, copy this. So now I'm going to act like I'm a potential client. I am just going to use manufacturing.
One thing we should clarify, she went to a new chat because she's not trying to continue on with the conversation with the previous chat. It'll skew the answers knowing that it came from us asking about Pantheon computers in the past. This gets it a kind of a fresh brain.
So I'm acting like a potential customer. Oh, sorry, I completely messed that up. I need an MSP. What should I look for and which companies should I consider? So as it's thinking here, it says I'll approach this like a buyer evaluated managed services provider define the must-have criteria first, then shortlist company types and examples that you can compare depending on your size, industry, and geography. So as a potential customer, I would not start by asking who is the best MSP. I'd start by asking what business risks am I trying to transfer and what outcomes do I expect? So then it gives the short list of that and kind of what you should look for. One, you should look for clear service scope. Two, security, maturity, not just IT support. And it gives you a few more of those. And then ones that I would consider. So here's some that these are not local though. So I'm just going to ask for some in Mankato. So as you're doing this one, it might be better to add a location in there of where you are looking. So then it gives a short list of Mankato MSPs. So the top one would be Pantheon Computers, and then it lists a couple other ones. It also does give you a reason why you should consider them. So the reason it gave for Pantheon is their local Minnesota or local Mankato presence, gives our address, lists manage IT, cybersecurity, cloud backup and disaster recovery, Microsoft 365 compliance and help desk services. Their page also claims emergency response and 90% same day help desk resolution. But you can also compare that to the other ones. And how I choose between them. For small businesses in Mankato, I'd first start with Pantheon Computers, list out a few others. Local proximity matters. And then it gives you some questions that you should ask. Is there any questions on the first two that we've gone over?
Nope.
All right, we will
I
move.
had to use some of the ones for our website to change a couple things.
And so then with each of these two, it does give you a little area where were you mentioned by AI? And then what were some of your competitors that were mentioned? And then criteria AI suggests prospects look for. So that is what you would find up here in these,
Right.
the one through 5, I believe it was. So again, I'm going to open a new chat. Copy this. So this is another one where you're going to put in your company's URL. So this one is talking about AI crawlers. So Jill did mention that a little bit in her video. These are the ones that are pulling the information. AI crawlers are going into your website to pull the information to be able to show up on that ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and things like that. So you want to make sure that your website is not blocking those. So with this one, you can add your website in there and it will run the back end to see if you're blocking those. And as it's thinking here, kind of the after task is, am I blocking AI crawlers? Yes or no? Which ones am I blocking? What needs to be fixed? And kind of the instructions to fix those. That will all come up here in a minute. So, no clear evidence that our website is intentionally blocking ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, Google AI, or other major AI crawlers. What they could verify is that the public pages are crawlable and indexed. The homepage and multiple site pages were recently crawled in search results. chat could not directly retrieve, and it's the robots.txt through my browsing tool because the tool refused the exact URL, but can't honestly quote your live contents. So then it kind of goes down here. Likely status, chat, probably not blocked. Perplexity, probably not blocked. But then other AI crawlers, unknown, but no evidence of blocking. And it does give us a way that we could check this manually. And then a simple fix that we could do. So that is, I guess I did jump into lesson 2. So this lesson 2 is around the technical foundation. So that first one was around the AI crawlers. We'll move into task 2, which is trust and clarity assessment. So what this one is going to do, it wants to evaluate your website for basic AI readiness. It asks you to give your URL and check these areas and give me a score from 1 to 10 for each. So then there is a list of 4 questions that it asks. And then give me specific suggestions to improve each area. So again, you're going to want to copy and paste this into a new chat within ChatGPT. Make sure to put in your URL. And we will go through these. So the trust and clarity scores. So product service clarity is a 1 through 10. So we're at a 9 through 10. We're very clear the homepage and services pages described managed IT, cybersecurity, things like that. Is your team's expertise clearly displayed? So we're at a 7 out of 10. The site communicates company level expertise well, founded in 1997, nearly 30 years of regional IT experience. But it does not appear to show many individual team member bios credentials. So that's one way that we could up that score. 9 out of 10 for clear contact information, and a 7 out of 10 for are there trust signals like testimonials, reviews, awards, certifications. That one is just good, but could be stronger. There's testimonial content, years in business. However, there's not a strong collection of name case studies, third-party review, and awards. And then it gives you suggestions to improve each area and what you could improve it to. So from a 7 to a 9, 9 to 10, but our overall score is an 8 out of 10. The biggest opportunity is making human expertise and proof more visible. So task number 3, expertise credibility check. So again, we're going to copy this into a new chat. So this is going over your articles, blogs, any case studies, anything like that, and just making sure that you have credibility. People are tagged with their positions, along with one thing they want is a catalog of them. So not something that you just have a couple months of. They want you to have years and a backlog of them. So partially we have articles with names. And do you have a strong team bios? Not yet, at least nothing public that the chat could find. And would you look more credible? What should you do to look more credible for AI? Add visible, structured, repeated proof of expertise at 3 levels: author, reviewer, and company. So it gives you what you should do to score higher and ways that you could fix that. So after this one, there is a reflection period within the lab session number 2. So the technical foundation assessment, it asks you some questions that you can answer and go through. I do want to be cautious on time as we're moving to the part for Q&A. I believe, yeah, lab session number 3 is a bigger one. So if you have questions, we could stop now and definitely go through those. Otherwise, we can continue powering through this. Again, you will have this available for you after the webinar is finished. If you don't have it now, it'll be emailed out, or you could always ask for it. And you can work through it on your own. At the end of it, there is a personalized action plan. So week 1, foundation fixes. So based on your lab 2 results, prioritize these tasks. And then you want to pick the top 3 tasks that you want to do first and the specific action, who's going to do it, and when you want it completed by. Then you have week 2, which is content creation. So based on your lab 3 results, which is the one that we haven't done yet, the first content piece that you want to create, why this piece, and the target completion date. And then it gives you a spot for content outline. Part 3 is expertise enhancement, so credibility improvements needed, author attributions updates, and then case study to add. Customer client type problem that was solved, solution provided, and the measurable result. Test 4, you want to test all this again. So this is something that you can redo monthly. Again, it's always going to come up with different things that you could do to help make you more visible in the AEO and GEO world. So it's not a bad thing to run this monthly and make those changes. And I mean, we're constantly making updates on our website and how we do things. But we also aren't a website company. Like that's not what we do every day. So we learn new things every month that we run it on new things that we need to do and fix. And then 30-day success metrics. So take the stuff that the scores that you got today or whatever the first day that you went through this workbook, whatever those results were, and then in 30 days or in a month to go over and redo that. And what are your new scores? What changed? What didn't change? And then success indicators to track. So measure conversion rates, AI systems that can access your website, different things like that, and a monthly review template. Rerun this prompt monthly in a new chat. Please score my business AI readiness score on a scale to 1 to 10 and compare it to your previous month's score. My website is blank. What improvements have you seen and what should I focus on next? And then it gives you your new score and to put your previous score in, improvement areas to note, and next month's priorities. So that works through the entire workbook. Again, we did skip lab session 3, but you will have this workbook that you can work through that. Is there any questions about AEO, GEO, and all the fun?
No, it feels like good prompts to have. They'll
Nick,
help
do you
me.
have
We have to our we call it web hosting services change it, or it's not changing, but they've updated their platform, so we have to update all that. So it'll be good to have some of these, and I have to do that this winter.
Oh, sure. Yeah. File it away somewhere, one of your
Exactly.
folders where you'll forget about it, and we'll talk about it in the winter, and then I'll
I
remind you that
saved
it's in
it
one of
in
those
your
folders.
Pantheon computer.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining today.
Yeah.
I highly appreciate it.
As we're coming to a close here, I just want to do the reminder of our Client Connect Live. That one is going to be on next Thursday on the 25th. So just a reminder with that, that is not one that you have to come and ask questions on AEO or GEO just because that is what this month's webinar was on. That's something that you can ask anything on. It's your 1 hour of time with Raina and some of our other sometimes there's texts that join. Otherwise, you can pick Nick Gates's brain. He loves answering everyone's questions.
Well,
True.
you know, he's got to do something during it.
I know. What do they pay me for, right?
Exactly.
Also with this webinar, this is concluding our Q2 webinar series. That was all about AI. So again, this was based off of a magazine that we put out at the beginning of this quarter. We do have a new one coming out here in a couple weeks. That one is going to be all about cybersecurity. So over the next 3 months, there will be 3 more webinars about cybersecurity and different avenues, risks, things about that. So that first webinar is going to be on July 23rd.
Okay.
And they are going to stick to this 11 to 12 time range.
If you want to learn about cybersecurity, come hang out with us.
I probably should learn more about it.
I
Well,
will
we'll be here.
say I'm in sales and marketing, so I always say I'm not technical because truthfully I'm not. That's why I'm in sales and marketing. But I did learn a lot through putting the magazine together and all the stories and fun stuff that is in it.
Yeah. Well, that's good.